Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Kool-Aid Podcast. We have a very special edition today. We are going to be going over the transfer window we've had. Insane day today. I think we can all agree. What an insane way to end the transfer window. We're going to be talking about both Joao's coming over to Barca, Eric Garcia, Abde, and many other players. And we're going to be giving a rating to the season, to the transfer market that we've had as a whole. Before I continue, I'd like to introduce both my co-hosts, Elias and Alvaro.
What's up,
What's up,
guys?
guys?
And also, guys, before we start, I would like to remind you guys to follow us here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Spotify as well, and to watch all of our videos, see the TikToks we make, and stay updated with the news we have. But starting it off, guys, what are we making of the double Joao deal? What do you guys think of this? Is this the right way to end the transfer window?
You want to go first?
Yeah, I mean, okay, you need a right back, and you got the best available right back on the market. That this defense, this back four has a chance to be one of the best in Europe when Araujo gets back. And I mean, it's gonna be great to finally have a real right back playing a very key position, not only on defense but on the game as a whole. I mean, there's not much to say that's an A rated move by Barca. And the Joao Felix move, I know we have been kind of trashing it, saying that it's stupid, whatever. Sometimes players need a change of scenery. He was not happy in Atletico. I know he tried Chelsea and he didn't do anything here either. Maybe playing for his dream club, maybe where his emotions can actually play out. Maybe that's where he wakes up. I saw someone put a formation on Twitter of him playing left wing. I don't think that's gonna happen. But now that we put Ansu Fati on loan and sold Abde, maybe that opens up a space for him because it's either gonna be him or Ferran battling for most minutes, for the most part, I think. So I mean, the Cancelo move, A plus. You needed to get a legitimate right back after Xavi has told Conde that he won't be a right back, and after Araujo has been so injury prone that he cannot keep playing right back. So great move for Cancelo. And for Joao Felix, I know we're mad. We're not mad, but we feel like we could have done better there, even though there wasn't much availability. We get him. He's still young, and we'll see if he can perform in his dream scenario. So
Valid. I actually agree with you, Alvaro, and then I agree with both of your points. I think the Joao Cancelo deal is fantastic. As you guys can said, we haven't had a real right back since the exit of Dani Alves in 2015, basically. Joao Cancelo is coming for just a season long loan. Barcelona is going to be paying most of the wages, if not all. But one of the negatives I see in this deal is that there is no buy option. Due to FFP, Barcelona, they no longer have that 25 million buy option available. And if Joao Cancelo he does do well, I we already know that Manchester City they're already going to be haggling us. And instead of 25 million, they're probably going to put a 50 million price tag, which is another negative. And the same can be said for Real Madrid. If Joao Felix does well at Barcelona, we would have to negotiate with Atletico Madrid, and that's just it sucks. And another thing that I have to mention is that I felt like the club has been like scrambling like the past couple of days, just trying to bring in these signings, because when you look at the structure of all these deals, just I they're not convincing. It just I the whole transfer saga has been a mess. The whole Ansu Fati situation as well, and then we're gonna be talking about Abde and Eric Garcia. It's just it's a mess. But Alex, just what are your opinions on Joao Cancelo?
So I'll go with Cancelo first. I think, like Alvaro said and how you said, I think it's a it's a great deal for Barcelona. You know, at least for the season, you're getting a short term solution, which I think is great, and it also gives us an idea of what the team needs because he is a very different player from what we're used to, right? He's a very creative wing back, and he's a very versatile player. He's great with both feet, great dribbler, great passer. So we'll see how he does. But I do think it was an 8 or 9 transfer actually, just because of what we needed. Um, of course, he still has to prove himself, but for the time being, considering the player he is, I think it was a great move.
and look, before you continue, I completely agree with what Elias said. I'm a little annoyed that we have no buy option in Cancelo. But look, for a top club like Barca to have a hole in a position like right back for so many years, you gotta be content with them having at least a legitimate right back for this season. Who knows? Maybe next season some stud right back from I don't know from what league decides to move to Barca, and then you have a young right back for years to come. All you gotta worry about is winning now.
Yeah.
This team, the way it's built and the way they have built it with the transfers, it's good enough to be a legit contender for the UCL.
Mhm.
One of my concerns is how much more like financial fair play, or how much more do we have to sell in order for us to be like normal and just like
You,
not be
you,
worried
you,
about
you, know,
FFP.
you know how corrupt La Liga
No,
is.
no, 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 but just think about this. We are only trying to sign two loan
Sure.
players. When we look at the amount of departures that we've had from the club, for example, we've had Lenglet leave, we had Serginho Dest, we have Trincao, we had Griezmann, we have Umtiti, we had Nico Gonzalez, we had Abde, we had so many players leaving the club, and we are only bringing in two loan players plus like the additional of a couple others. But when you think about it, those came on a free, and our most expensive signing has been Romeo for 4.4 for like 3.5
Mhm.
2 million euros. Like how much more do Barcelona need to do in order to be under La Liga regulations? Because guys, we were absolutely desperate in this last transfer window just to sell these players. Um, but one deal that I want to specifically talk about is Abde. Abde has been sold.
Well,
It's
oh, real quick, sorry to interrupt, but
no.
before we finish, because I hadn't said what I wanted
Oh yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Go, yeah, go
No, no,
for it,
no
go for
worries,
it,
no
go.
worries. I will say though, Joao, I'm neutral about, because yes, I don't rate him as highly as I did a few seasons ago, and I don't think he's a solution of any kind. But he is a young player. He is a talented player. Maybe, like Alvaro said, a change of scenery would do him good. It's another option to have for striker when Lewandowski isn't playing well, and even left wing if they want to try it. So maybe
Yeah,
a
but
Okay,
6
like
or a 7.
but do you think
people don't realize the value that motivation and self trust has on a player. A player that was not wanted in Atletico Madrid got thrown over to Chelsea, was placed in a very hostile environment that he really either had to sink or swim. Maybe now that he finds some comfort in Barca, he can go back to gaining that um self like
Confidence.
like the self confidence?
Yeah.
that confidence, and maybe he can, and it's more important than people realize, and maybe playing where he
But
wants to play.
okay, but where is he gonna play? Because I've said this time and time again. He
Oh, I have
reminds
no
me of
fucking
Joao
idea.
Cancelo. Like he reminds me of no, not Joao Cancelo, of Antoine Griezmann.
Reason. Mhm.
Yeah, the similar play style. He was brought in saying, "Hey, we're gonna fit him in. He's gonna play on the left. He's gonna play as a secondary
No,
striker,
he's
but in
gonna
that,
he's gonna have to play as a left winger or play as a second striker.
but like he doesn't have the pace to play as a left winger. And
Well,
then
then
here's the option, like the alternative. Now, if you're gonna play Joao Felix, who are you gonna drop in the midfield? Because
True.
we're no longer going to be going with four midfielders. One of them is going to have to drop. Or Romeo, you can't drop him because he's the glue that holds everything together. Frankie De Jong can't play in that pivot hole, in that pivot role. And so
no, either
who
way,
are you?
Frankie De Jong has been a top midfielder
Exactly.
in
So
the
like
world.
Frankie's going to go in there, but then who do you
It,
drop?
it'll
Do you
probably,
drop
it'll probably,
Pedri, Gundogan,
it'll probably
Gavi?
be, yeah. I mean, by even then, Gavi only plays because Pedri is not playing now. So
Yeah. I
otherwise,
mean,
Gavi will be in the bench.
okay. So is our starting midfield now? Is it Gundogan,
But
Frankie De Jong, or Romeo?
look. This is a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have options. One issue would be if we had the same formation every day because we have no other option. We have options. We have like
Yeah, we can
we could
switch
run
it up
like
now, which
we
is
could
good.
run like three different formations if we want to.
Yeah.
It,
Yeah.
it, it all depends on Xavi.
Well, I want Joao Felix to succeed because obviously he's a Barcelona player, and you don't want a player at the club to do poor. But something that I do have to mention is that he has more yellow cards than assists. Like I mean, like if you guys are saying like, hey, we're bringing Joao Felix to be a creative player, what creativity is he offering to this team? He's not a lethal finisher.
Hopefully,
He isn't this creative masterclass like Messi or anything like that, or Kevin De Bruyne. And so Joao Felix, hopefully you do come here and light the stage on fire, because if not, it's absolutely a waste. And we basically loaned out Ansu Fati, who I believe would have been much more useful than Joao Felix, because he is a natural left winger. He can play as an actual striker, but That's something that we are going to discuss later on. But I want to know your guys' opinions on Abde's exit. Abde has left the club. He has been sold to Real Betis for 7.5 million euros.
Yo, all I
7.
gotta say is I'm gonna quote your tweet, the tweet that we put out on the podcast Twitter. We had offers for up to 25 million.
Yeah, we had more than that, but we also have a buyback option, and we reserve the right for 50% of
Exactly.
his next future
I
sale.
saw specifics, so I mean,
Yeah.
we don't fully come empty handed, but I mean, maybe he was behind the scenes. He was asking for men that he was not gonna get, and who knows? Maybe Xavi and Laporta understood that him playing barely playing throughout the season was gonna lower his wage, his was gonna lower his value way too much. Which I mean, I don't think 25 to 7 would have happened, but
But on top of that, when you think, guys, are you guys realizing that Cole Palmer just went to Chelsea from Manchester City for 45 million euros?
yeah,
Yeah, but
You
that's English
had
tax.
no, no, but I'm just thinking the amount of money that's being
yeah,
thrown around in
yes,
England. I just
yeah.
like we're selling. If you were gonna sell Ade, sell him to the Prem. Sell him to the Prem
Yeah.
for more money, because like there were also
Yo,
offers like
he could
30
have
million.
done. He could have done one of Spurs. The Spurs were really after Fati. Abdi could have been a good plan B.
Yeah, he could
Hey
have
man,
been an
don't
option.
rub that in our face now. Hey, you're already we're already lost. We're already lost Fati.
um, I mean, we lost Fati, yeah. I mean, we did talk about him yesterday, and I feel like Xavi right now, because he wasn't a fan of Felix. Like this was a Laporta signing. This was a Laporta and George Mendes signing for the club. This wasn't a Xavi signing whatsoever, and I feel like this was a little bit panicky because the way the whole deal was done, it doesn't fill me with confidence. But what do you guys think that this is a smart move, letting go of Abde?
I don't think it's a smart move. Um, I really wanted to keep him. I do rate him highly as a player, but it is what it is. It's not like we're losing Messi, but still, it hurts to see a young talented player leave. I just really hope. I mean, I don't wish him any bad, but I hope he's not uh, as good as he's expected to be, because then we fumbled.
But my question is, Elias, because I know you know more about the specifics of the deal.
Yeah.
He's not he's sold. He's not on
Yeah,
loan.
he sold. He sold to Real Betis
About
for
50% of the rights go back to us. So that means that what, like,
No,
uh,
if he sold, for example, to Manchester United for
well,
100 million euros, we get 50 of that. We get 50 of that. But for example,
hey, look,
if he
we're gonna look back at this, and when he sold for 70 million, we're gonna get like 35 back, and
yeah,
spend it on
but
some
but
major.
but we
Yeah, but that's
also have
assuming
the
he gets
right.
sold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's assuming if he gets sold, and Barcelona, they do have the option to buy him back.
Barca.
And yeah, Barcelona, they do have the option for the price. I don't know. If
Okay,
for
so you
example,
know what? Consider this a very crappy loan, because
yeah,
Barca can very well see him score, let's say, 10 goals this
yeah.
season and have a really good season, and Barca will tell Betis, here you go,
Mm,
25 million before he gets to 50 million, and you buy him
mm.
back. So I mean, it's a shitty situation, but I mean,
Yeah, but right now
that's
I
enough.
think I see Barcelona weaker in their attack, because what wingers do we have in this club? Wingers,
Oh, what?
natural wingers. What natural
No, we
wingers we
don't.
have?
Sergio Roberto.
Jamal, and
Sergio Roberto. Well, we have Lamine Yamal. We have a 16-year-old kid, and we have Rafinha.
both right wingers.
Both right wingers. One is a 16-year-old kid, and Rafinha, he's a fake Brazilian. And so, um,
No, that's what I'm saying. They're either gonna force Joao Felix into a left wing role that he does not play,
Yeah, he's
or they're
gonna have
gonna
to do
keep,
that. There's
or,
no
they-
other
no,
or,
no,
way.
or
no,
they're
but
gonna
this
keep running 4-4-2.
But yeah, but this makes no sense. Like Joao Felix isn't a left winger. Like
But
you
then
think
make
he's
him
gonna
one.
make
I
it?
mean, look,
But like
Joshua Kimmich was a right back, right? And now he's one of the best CDMs
no,
in the
no,
world.
no, no, no. But he had like the characteristics to play
Okay,
in
but
that role.
we don't know if
Like Joao
Joao
Felix
Felix.
doesn't have the pace to beat Kyle
That's
Walker
fine,
in like a
but
one.
you don't have to be a pace demon to be a winger. It helps, but there's other qualities that go into it, like crossing, shooting,
Okay, but can he
dribbling.
be a man on a
But
1v1?
remember that
I
Barca
don't think we
didn't.
know that. There's remember that there's a lot we don't see that coaches see. that expertise. Like at
And
the end
look,
of the day, we're fans. But
look,
I
one
think
thing.
if he really does want to play in Barca, and if Xavi does really want him, he's gonna have to play left wing or whatever he puts him because I don't see him playing anything else.
And look, one thing. I'm not completely sure of all the tactics that went into play for the Villarreal game, but Barca was running it with Balde and no, not Balde. Marco Halon. No, that game was more with fullbacks. But the previous game, they were running Balde and who was playing right back and Conde. They were running them as wingbacks.
Okay.
That means that the wingers playing on top don't have to be those legitimate wingers. They can play.
What happens if Abde gets injured? I mean, if Baldo gets injured, just like
That's
what
what I'm
happened right
saying.
now.
I'm thinking of a possibility that gets Joao Felix into a role that's not legitimate left wing.
Yeah,
And
I
look,
I'm
you know what you said about it right now, I'm glad. I know you guys are gonna bash on me for that. I'm glad we didn't saw Marco Alonso because no matter how mediocre he is, what other left back do we have in the team?
I mean, we don't, but like, I mean, like, I would have sold him, for example, Joao Cancelo, he can play as left back, which is I'm very happy for. He can play on the left and on the right. And when I'm thinking if Balde gets injured, then you switch it. You have Cancelo playing on the right, and or no, what you could do is you could play Cancelo on the left, have him overlapping, and then put, for example, like Araujo or Kunde at that right back, and just have him playing as an inverted fullback, and just do that. Um, but mm, I'm I don't know. But just like Abde, it's a deal that Barcelona could regret. I think he's the only natural winger that we
Yeah,
actually have, like
yeah.
who's like a pace demon who wants to go down the byline, put in a cross, beat a man. I think he's like the only other player. Lamine Yamal has very similar characteristics, but he isn't Abde. But he's going to Real Betis, a team which he is going to be getting minutes. It's a quality team, but hopefully he does well. If he does well, we can buy him back, and well, hopefully that works. But now we go on to the topic of Eric Garcia. Eric Garcia has been loaned out to Girona. Barcelona is going to be paying. No, is only going to be paying 20 to 30% of his wages. Girona is going to take the majority of the salary, and I believe this just leaves us low on center back depth, on defensive depth. We have what, four center backs, and three of them are injury prone.
What's
The-
Araujo's almost back, right?
I mean, we don't know. Like, for example, we think that he's going to be coming back after the
And
international break.
I know Inigo Martinez. I know he got registered today,
Yeah, he
but
got registered today. He
how far
should
is
be back.
yeah.
He should be back, if not the game this weekend, for the next game. But like I'm saying, like he's injury prone as well.
I completely agree with you, and here's why it is so important to have options as formations. You can very well, let's say that you have one out of the four center backs healthy. You can play Frankie De Jong as he
Mm.
played a very decent center back against who
Yeah,
was it?
he's a very versatile
Frank, you can have
backline
Frankie.
player.
Yeah, but like,
You can run one of the young center backs that are not even registered in the
oh,
team.
but what is this squad planning?
I know,
Like,
I know.
why would you want one of your best midfielders playing as a center back? Like, what are you doing?
Remember, we have five midfielders.
Yeah, exactly. We have five
Oh,
minute
look, guys,
midfielders.
guys, guys.
Pedri
I
is
feel like
usually like injured like for half the season, and so he's
well, look,
gone.
I feel like we're missing the point in two things. A, Eric Garcia leaving was the right thing. As much as we said at times that he was a good rotational player, it was for the best. He's still a liability. Marcos Alonso, God willing, leaves soon.
Maybe
Another
in
player we gotta
January.
get rid of. But look, we're forgetting something, and that's that Barcelona. You can't expect this team to reach the ideal level of squad depth or of just like pure starting 11 greatness because Xavi has only been here for 2 seasons now, and the team has a lot of financial problems. Like, well, excuse me. While it's nice that other teams can just spend like 100 million on Guardiola or on very young, exciting players, like we just can't, and we have to accept that as fans. Thankfully, this team does rely a lot on its academy system, and I do think we have solutions for some of the problems there. But again, for this season, the best reason would be the best option would be Conde and Araujo as center back along with Christensen, and we move it around when we need to. Thankfully, Joao Cancelo gives us a steady right back, but
D- Don't you think that Barcelona are terrible negotiators? Because when you look at the formation,
I think Barcelona have been. I don't think they're terrible negotiators now. I just think like they don't have the means. Like if they had the money, like if they had, they don't even gotta have like Real Madrid's money or like PSG or Man City's money. If they just had like money, they could get a lot of better players. Like I feel like money has been the biggest issue. Well, and I don't feel like it has been the biggest issue.
okay, okay. I mean that's valid. But once again, like I'm looking at Araujo, I'm looking at our defense, and I'm looking at them as like, hey, if a couple of them get injured and we have to face, like, for example, Bayern in the Champions League, or oh my god, I'm imagining right now
Either
in the
way,
group stage. I'm imagining the group stage. What happened last season? What happens if our entire defense or our entire midfield is like
Elias,
scorched?
either way,
I'll
realize
play
that
for them. I don't care.
in the
I'll play
defense,
center back. We're good.
in the defense, realize
Uh,
most teams that have three of their starting center backs injured, they're fucked. They have to go into their academy depth
yeah.
or into crazy positioning switch. If Barca has, God forbid, three out of their four center backs injured, let's say Christensen is the only one that's good. Again, you can play Frankie there, who plays a very good center back for a midfielder. So I'm saying I agree with you on like what Alex thinks. I think Barca made a mistake by letting go Eric Garcia because he was decent enough to at least play La Liga minutes,
Yeah.
but you still have four center backs and you have an option with a midfielder, and you have again Marco Alonso. Marco Alonso is a very, very, very crappy last resort option, but you have options. So and you have four great center backs. So I
Okay.
mean,
Okay. Okay.
I agree with you,
Um.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Guys, remember, you guys want to join in and also give your thoughts. Just click on the link on Twitter. Make sure to go over there. Um, but guys, let us know your thoughts on those four transfers: Joao Felix to Barcelona, Cancelo to Barcelona as well. But guys, and now let's talk about Barcelona's transfer window as a whole. Let me pull up my screen, and this is the incomings and out and the transfers in, transfers out of Barcelona. As you can see, we've made five signings. We made Gundogan on a free, or Romeo for 3.4 million euros. The rest, or Romeo paid out of his pocket. Inigo Martinez free, Joao Cancelo with a loan, Joao Felix on a loan. And you see all these departures. You have Dembele, you have Griezmann, you have Kessie, you have Nico Gonzalez, Trincao, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, Umtiti, Alex Collado, Dest, Julian Araujo, Pablo Torre, Lengle, Ansu Fati, Eric Garcia, and Abde.
yo,
As you can
yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you finished speaking. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like as you guys can see, a ton of players have actually left the club, which is very good. But guys, if you're looking at all these prices right here, loan, 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 loan,
Yeah,
loan, loan, free, 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 loan, 8.4, 12.5. Griezmann, you paid 160, you got 20. Dembele, you gave him a release clause for 50 million. Like, I'm sorry, Barcelona, like when I say the terrible negotiators, the terrible negotiators. We are getting scraps for these players.
two things. I completely forgot about Trincao. Completely forgot about it. And second of all, this little irrelevant, but Alex Collado, I remember being like the captain of Barca B. He was
Yeah.
a very solid midfielder. I'm kind of sad that he never got a chance with Barca.
Well, I mean, he was in Barcelona's preseason, just like he didn't really impress
Yeah, yeah,
Xavi, and
yeah.
so like I'm saying like, hey, but if that happens,
But look. Ultimately, let's go one by one.
yeah,
Dembele, bitch.
yeah.
It was gonna happen.
No, 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 yeah, but we don't have to talk about every single player in specifically. Just like, what do you make of Barcelona's like transfer window as a
No,
whole? Like, do you think
it's
it
like
was successful? Do you
it's
think
like
that
what you
Barcelona could have
said.
done more?
Look, it was look.
I
You
feel like they couldn't have done more.
exactly with the available budget and the availability in the market, they couldn't have done much more. Incredibly improve your midfield with Gundogan and Oriol. You improve already a strong defense with Inigo Martinez whenever he comes back healthy. Cancelo, you finally have a legitimate right back after 8 years of not having a right back. And Joao Felix, that's the next Xavi project that maybe wasn't he probably didn't want him, but it is his project now. Maybe we're talking all this shit and Joao Felix goes off. But that's a one big question mark. All the other ones either helped our defense, our midfield. Well, yeah, I mean our defense, our midfield. I mean, I would have liked to get another legit striker or winger, but there weren't many
Yeah.
options.
Okay, for example, when you look at this, I think the incomings, I think they've actually strengthened the squad.
Yeah,
Um, Joao Felix question mark. We have to see what he does,
yeah,
because like he hasn't done well at Atletico Madrid. He hasn't done well at Chelsea. The last time he played like decently well was at Benfica, but like he's someone who, well, I'm just saying like he's off the field issues, and so I'm just saying like, hey, do you really want to have this guy being your star man? But all five players reinforce the team, just question marks over Joe Felix. But the exits, I completely agree. But for example, Longley, you had an offer for 5 million plus 5 million in variables, where you could have sold him. What happened? You give him a loan to Aston Villa.
yeah.
Abde, you had an offer for 25 to 40 million. Offers from Italy, offers from Germany, offers from Spain, offers from the Prem. What happened? 7.5 million euros. Okay, that happens. Ansu Fati, once again, you had the options to sell him. I think a loan is a smart move. Eric Garcia, you loan him out, but for example, we have injury issues in the back, and you're low on depth if they get injured. Serginho Dest,
You're on
uh,
that future Danny Abbas.
yeah, future Dani Alves, Pablo Torre, a good move. Julian Araujo, I don't know why we signed him. If if you're not even gonna play him, why did you sign him? Cassie, 12.5 million euros. I think that's decent.
That's
L-
pretty
I think
valid.
I think we could have let go of him for like 20, but
Yeah, but it's
yeah,
pretty valid.
today's
yeah,
market.
yeah. To today's market. But that's the thing. I think Barcelona have reinforced the major positions in the squad. And what areas when you look at the squad do you feel are weak?
Wingers,
So the wing
I think little by
wingers and
little,
striker.
yeah, and I
Okay.
think little by little, Xavi's gonna have to realize that he is forced to run away from the 4-3-3. He doesn't have the unless he wants to run Ferran Torres as a starter, which again, I gotta see more of him as a sub to give him the starter minutes. But unless he wants to run Ferran Torres as a starter, he's forced to do 4-4-2. So
Well, I mean, you do have the option. Well, actually, Vitor Roque, he's going to be coming in January, and so
yeah,
he's
but
another attacker. But
he's a
he's a
striker,
striker
not
that
winger.
that can be replicating. But a good thing that we see is that everyone is basically ready for this weekend.
Yeah,
Barcelona, they're going to be playing away at Osasuna. I want to see Barcelona go out and play with full intensity, because I am tired of seeing this Barcelona just like the timid, just like 0-1, 1-0. No, it doesn't make sense. That you're playing Osasuna. Maybe instead of playing four midfielders, play with three and actually go for the win. But that's my thoughts. Mm, Maybe you could have signed another left back, for example. I would have let go of Marcos Alonso and look to bring in someone else. Center backs, I think that's good. Midfield, Busquets leaving was a blow, but solid. I think a perfect transfer window was keeping Dembele, keeping Eric Garcia, and bringing in Vitor Roque now. I think
yeah.
you target every single weak point in the squad, but overall, I would give it maybe an eight,
I'll give it an
possibly
eight.
like a 7.5
I'll
around
give
there.
it no, I'll give it an eight because again they strengthen what they need to strengthen. So I'll give it
Yeah,
an eight.
yeah,
Okay, so
I'll
now
real quick before we move on. I will have to give this a B plus, given that yes, some of the transfers weren't the smartest, like Trincao, Abde, but still,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think given everyone that we had to get rid of and the ones that we got, I would give it a B plus.
yeah. I mean, we said this. We sold Update and we got a player in Felix who he doesn't have a natural position.
True.
You sell Ansu Fati, and so what happens if, for example, if Lewandowski gets injured or Rafinha gets injured, you're literally
Joao Felix as a starter,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, exactly. You're fighting with
Oh,
scraps up now, up top.
I am in the minority. Stop talking shit about Felix because he might
Well,
he
no,
might
no, no. I
he
mean,
might
like, hey, I want to be proven wrong so badly. I want to be proven wrong. I like Joao Felix. Come on and like score 20 goals, 15 goals, drop key goals in the Champions League, drop match winning moments in a game. If you do that, I'm perfectly fine with that. Um, and I'm actually excited to see what they're able going to be doing, what they're able to do this weekend, because we're going to be playing on Sasuna, and hopefully we see that happen. But guys, final thoughts before we round off the video.
What
Well,
would be your starting 12 for the weekend? I mean, 12. It's starting 11 for the weekend.
the start 11. I would go with Ter Stegen in goal.
Oh
Balde
shit.
if he's fit. Balde if he's fit. If not, Marcos Alonso. You have Kunde and Christensen. You have in the right back Cancelo.
I never followed up. Christensen was never injured, right? Because I know he left at halftime.
Yeah, I think it was a knock, but we have to
Right.
see. In midfield, I would go with Romeo, Frankie, and Gavi and Gundogan. I would start with that four-man.
Mhm.
Up top, start with Lewandowski and Lamine Yamal. Go for that.
Xavi's gonna run out of Rafinha. I already know it.
Yeah, I mean, he could do it. It makes sense.
As long as
But
Jamal at least gets 20 minutes.
as
listen,
long as Jamal
I'll,
gets
I'll tell
20
I'll tell you right now what the starting 11 is gonna be. So in
Wow.
goal, we're gonna have Victor Valdez. No, I'm kidding. Ter Stegen.
minutes.
Then we're gonna have. I think Balde will
Sergio
be good.
Roberto.
So. No, no, chill. We're gonna have Balde. We're gonna have Christensen, Conde, and can Cancelo play right away?
Yeah,
He
he can play right
can.
away. Yeah.
Cancelo, just
Okay.
just Cancelo, and then in the midfield, the same old Romeo.
Garcia Gamba, we kept the Lords in name of Alonso and Roberto. Bro, I
Amen.
want them shipped out, like out of the club as fast as possible.
Yo,
Yeah,
yo,
you
Xavi.
need to get deported to like Madagascar or some shit.
Roberto,
Exactly, bro. Deport them.
say what, just want to hear you talk shit and score a banger in the UCL. Watch.
No, 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 no,
Hey,
no, no. He's gonna drop like a master class in El Clasico and then drop disaster classes in every single other game in the
Say
season.
Roberto is like those artists that drop a fire ass song and retire right after.
Yeah, exactly.
They're known for the
he's
one hit.
like he's gotten a career out of that 6-1
Yeah,
goal and the goal and the run in El Clasico.
yeah.
Like I'm sorry, like
All right, Alex.
what is this?
Midfield: Oriol Gundogan,
so Romeo,
Gavi, and
Gundogan, Pedri, and De Jong.
no, Pepe's out.
No,
Gavi.
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
Pepe is
right.
out.
Gavi and De Jong, and then up top, I will have Ferran, Lewa, and Yamal.
So you're running 12 players?
Yeah, exactly. You're in top one now. What are you doing?
I put
My
four in the
man.
midfield.
Yes.
Yeah, you said
Oh,
Romeo, you said Frankie.
my bad. So yeah, so no Gavi. I will try out Ferran starting. 3-man midfield.
All right, so you're playing Ferran Torres on the left?
Yeah, I wanna see him. I wanna see him get minutes as
He
an
can play.
actual
He
proper
can play on
winger.
the left. Yeah, he plays left.
I mean, okay. I mean, that's valid.
I'm gonna
Uh,
go. I'm gonna go the same four at the back. We have the attacker. We're gonna play 16-year-old Yamal every damn. Yes, we are because he's probably
We're
gonna
gonna
be the
turn him into
golden boy.
Pedri, bro. Come on.
He's probably gonna. I mean, obviously not abusive like Pedri, but you gotta play him as often as you can right now, dude.
This is precisely why I said, guys, we have less attackers, and attackers of less quality.
Yeah.
Xavi, what are you thinking? Like, no,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Laporta,
saying.
what are you thinking?
That's what I'm saying. We should expect to see Rafinha start most of these games from now on.
Rafinha,
But what I'm gonna say, my prediction is gonna be the same four at the back and four in the middle as that Elias said, and then up top Lewandowski and Rafinha. Because again, I would love Jamal, but I don't think Xavi's gonna start him.
Okay, all I hope is that Barcelona they win trophies. You know, what, Xavi, I'm not gonna doubt you as long as you bring me trophies. You bring me trophies at the end of the season, specifically La Liga, and like a good run in the UCL. Deal signed, handshake, fantastic job. But I'm being serious about this.
And if you fail to make it past the group stage, you're gonna go coach my high school soccer team.
No, 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 no.
Can I be the next coach?
Another child
I got dibs on the next coach.
I got this one. No, 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 no. I'm being serious. If Barcelona they don't get out of this group, liquidate the club. sell every single body. Deport Xavi, revoke his citizenship, exile him from the state. Put him on witness protection because I'm sorry, I revoke his legendary status at the club. Anything possible, ban him from Barcelona, do everything possible just to make it impossible for him to step foot in the Camp Nou. It's that simple.
Damn.
Yeah, because guys, have you guys seen your group in the Champions League?
Are
We
you
have
gonna be a new?
Porto.
Are you gonna be a new center back instead of Eric Garcia?
Let's hope so. But guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed our basically our deadline day news roundup. Barcelona, they've signed Joao Felix, they've signed Joao Cancelo. If Xavi can't get Barcelona in the UCL semi, then Xavi out. Simple.
Nah,
Yeah.
bro, chill out. Nah. Quarterfinals, you got. It depends on who they match up against. Because if you match up against Bayern in the quarterfinals, don't tell me that you're expected to be Bayern because you're not expected to be Bayern.
Well, I mean, hey,
We're gonna be underdogs against Bayern, against City, and I mean, yeah, against Madrid is gonna be pretty.
what's up, Lizzie? Bro, funny enough that we were actually just like ending off the episode. But guys, quick question. What do you think? What do you guys think that Barcelona's going to do this season with all these transfers? Quarters?
We talked about this
We're
way too
winning the
much.
sixth doublet.
They better win La Liga because their team is meant to is made to win La Liga. We got better than we got last year. Madrid got worse, so we should win La Liga.
Yeah.
And bro, in the UCL, just get at least the quarterfinals.
Oh, I mean,
What
all
I
right.
think Xavi's gotta do is win the league again, try to win the Copa del Rey and the Super Copa, and for the love of God, please get far into the UCL.
Yeah, man.
For the love
At
of
least,
God.
at least quarterfinals, and that's if we face like City or Bayern. Otherwise,
Yeah. If
yeah.
not, they do atrocious things. But guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's Barcelona news roundup or like the deadline day madness. Joao Cancelo, Joao Felix have both been signed. What do you guys make of those signings? And what do you guys make of the departures of both Eric Garcia and Ade? Those are two operations which I didn't want to happen, but they did happen. But guys, thank you guys all for watching. And as always, guys, remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you guys